from the year 1982 in the Buffalo News. Rest cures lane woes for Roth. The Professional Bowlers Association tour was through with Mark Roth's mind. It had made a meal out of his enthusiasm, dessert out of his concentration. Now it was ready to attack his body. Roth was in the middle of his final game of the May 14 through 17 AC Delco Classic in Torrance, California, when the invisible dagger embedded itself in his right wrist. The pain made him wince after he released his shot, but that's all it did. Shortly thereafter, he was winding up for another of his physically demanding fastballs. A second game followed, then a third, a fourth, a fifth. By the second day and 12th game, Roth realized he had a problem that wasn't going to disappear by itself. Wincing after a shot was one thing. Struggling to lift his ball from the ball return was an alarm that simply couldn't be ignored. "That's it," Roth said, and he withdrew from the tournament. The diagnosis was tendinitis. The prescription was rest. "It was serious," he said, "but I know I'd be able to bowl again." After a 5-tournament vacation, that was as important to his mind as it was to his body. Roth reboarded the tour when it pulled into Buffalo today for the $95,000 Bells Markets Open at Thruway Lanes. "In plain English, I'm ready to kick some butt," he said. "Now I'm getting hungry again. You get the killer in you." Long before his wrist gave out, Roth's killer was nowhere to be found. It had been kidnapped by the tour's mind-dulling routine of driving, unpacking, bowling, packing, and then driving again. "During the winter, it got to the point where I just didn't want to bowl anymore," he said. "I just wasn't in a good frame of mind." He became easily distracted, easily discouraged. He hardly resembled the Mark Roth who has been one of the PBA's more dominating players over the last 5 years. The one the Sporting News named as its PBA Player of the Year in 1977, 1978, and 1979. The one who surpassed $100,000 in earnings for an unprecedented 5th consecutive season in 1981. "Everything was bothering me. I was getting too frustrated," he said. "I was never like that before." Among the things most responsible for lighting the fuse of his temper was the PBA's new procedure for oiling lanes, a method designed to bring more parity to the tour. Roth still maintains that, through its conservative use of the oil, the PBA makes things particularly tough on him and other right-handers with slight hooks while favoring lefties who throw the ball straight. When you complain about it, you can't get a straight answer from anyone. I remember PBA lane maintenance director Lonnie Marshall mentioning something at a tour school about us not needing the first 10 feet of the lane, and therefore leaving it virtually dry. I thought, he's trying to stop me from making a living. Who's he? He's not God. The PBA doesn't want you to say anything bad about it, so I guess there isn't too much more I can say. But Roth will be the first to admit oiling procedures weren't solely responsible for his problems. Some of the blame has to be placed on his approach. "My slide step was too short," he explained. "I wasn't getting any leverage at all, and as a result, the ball wasn't doing what it was supposed to." At the end of the winter tour, Roth, with $30,290 in earnings, was in a section of the money list he hadn't seen since the early days of his 12-year career. His best finish was a third in Dallas, and in 2 tournaments he failed to make money. As the first stop of the spring tour, the AC Delco Classic figured to be a perfect stage for the start of a rally by Roth. His wrist, however, didn't agree. Without warning, it finally succumbed to the wear and tear resulting from his hard-throwing style. The tendinitis might have been coming on all winter long. I don't know, he said. But looking back, I never should have kept throwing the ball for as long as I did. After withdrawing from the tournament, Roth returned home to Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey, and wife Jackie, who is due to have a baby in February. For nearly a month, he didn't even look at a bowling ball, live or on television. He was too busy rebuilding the strength in his wrist by working out with 2-pound dumbbells. Roth made periodic checks on his progress by squeezing a pressure gauge. The first time he barely could coax the needle to a pathetic 32. Eventually, he got it to climb up to 65, and that's when he was convinced he could start bowling again. But Roth maintained his patience, participating in a couple of regional events before allowing himself to graduate to the Tour. "I'm like a little kid going back," he said. "I'm trying not to think about how important the Buffalo tournament is to me. I just want to bowl." The Thruway Lanes, is a tough house. It's on the low-scoring side, but I've done well there by consistently finishing in the top 20 over the years, and I think I can overcome the condition of the lanes. I'll get my game back. There's still the second half of the year to go, and if I get it going, win 2 or 3 tournaments in a row, anything can happen, just as long as his mind and body survive.